All right, so hello everyone, and welcome to a new video. This is Alpha Sentry as always, and with me today I have Oracle, Icicle, Jason, Duelyst
Any of those,
officials.
any of those names, you can call me any of them. They're
Perfect.
all work.
The resident deck builder of Duelyst official for
That's
sure.
right. Yeah, the
And
the
this
meme
is
deck builder.
this is basically your newest creation. So, what am I looking at here? It looks like just the old seven bird deck from when it was
Right.
broken.
Well, that's where you're wrong, Alpha. This is a completely new archetype, which I like to call OTK Birbs. And the aim of this deck is in one turn, you can combo out up to 16 birds in one turn sometimes, and essentially take your opponent from full HP to dead in a single combination using either Cannon Car or Wind Striker. And we're going to explore both versions of that deck list today.
All right, so just walk me through how the combo works, because I see a lot of things and I don't really see how they fit together here.
Right, well, the key component of any Azure Summoning deck list is Skywing. It's a 3/3 that reduces the cost of flying minions in your hand by 1, and that can stack. And that's the important factor, the stacking of that mana cost reduction. If you combine that with Mirror, which is a 2/1, and it allows you to target any minion on the board, and you will put 3 copies of that minion into your deck. So with the combination of Skywing, Mirror, and Azure Summoning, now what Azure Summoning does is every time you play a minion with flying, you draw another minion with flying. So by putting extra Skywings into your deck, you can get out with 2 Mirrors, you can get 8 Skywings out in a single turn, and that will allow you to play any of the flyers in your deck for no cost whatsoever, which is how the deck functions. Up to the point where you're comboing, you're just trying to survive and collect combo pieces, which is why you've got the Golem package, which helps you collect pieces and maintain board presence. You've got Thunderhorn, which is a great 4-drop, which allows you to just create a little bit of space to give yourself some breathing room. You've got the Vitruvian removal package of um, Sandsful Reader, Blood of Air, and with the Cypherian version, which I'll show a bit later, you've got Grapnel Paradigm, which gives you that extra bit of late game power. And basically, you're just trying to control the board as much as possible whilst collecting your combo pieces, and then hopefully you can take your opponent from full HP to dead in a single turn.
So I'm seeing a lot of traditional good stuff, Vitruvian minions and spells that they're known to win games by themselves. But how often would you say you reliably manage to get off the bird combo, and how impactful is that?
The thing is, there's so many different variations of combo that you can do with this deck list, and we will touch on some of those combos later on in this video. Um, the main combination will go off on 7 mana, and the setup required for that is that you must have played 1 Skywing and cast Miriam on it twice, putting an extra 6 Skywings into your deck list. Um, there are other variations where you can, for example, you could on turn 2 player 1 play a Skywing, Miriam on and another Miriam using a mana orb, and that will put all the Skywings you need into your deck list. And if the opponent does not remove said Skywing, you can then combo out with Azure Summoning for 4 mana, because you don't have to cast that initial 3 mana minion, which means you can combo out as early as 4 mana, and that will. Every time I've done it, my opponent has just immediately conceded because there's no way for an opponent to come back from that board state, especially if they've taken, say, 18 damage from 3 cannon cars with a Noshrak on board, which comes across as 18 damage or 22 with a general attack. It's just insane.
I'm sure that'll give a lot of the older players PTSD for the old bird deck.
Yeah, that's the thing. This deck originally was called Six Burb. Well, it was popularized as Six Burb. There was a 7 variation with Noshrak, but that wasn't as popular. And that was when Azure Summoning cost 0 mana. Now that it costs 1, you can't quite have the same impact early on. But yeah, it was a terrible time for the meta because every single game was just decided by who drew the nuts, basically.
Maybe we'll be seeing that coming back with this version of the deck.
Yeah, definitely, because I've had games where it's just over by turn 3. It's just done. It gave me those flashbacks of when you could convert as early as turn 1, player 2.
All right, so let's just get into maybe a few specifics of what cards we're running and what cards we're not running. So I don't know if you talked about this, but I see 3 Orb Rider in the deck list. So what kind of synergies are we going for there?
Okay, Orb Rider has a couple of synergies. I will say this, it is one of the clunkier cards in the deck list, but I consider it necessary to increase the consistency of being able to cast Mirror on Skywings, because drawing 2 Skywings, drawing 2 Mirror is a bit hopeful. So Orb Rider helps you smooth out that a little bit by being able to put the Mirror back into your hand, play it again, and you're done. The other synergy it has is, for example, putting a Dream Shaper back into your hand so you can draw more combo pieces, and it's just generally a useful minion. And it is a turn 1 play. It's not a very good one, but it still helps you maintain some kind of board.
Yeah, I was having a lot of success bouncing even Sandstorm Readers or Azure Heralds.
It's great.
And
it's great.
A couple
the
of
important
sorry, go ahead.
There is an important thing to note. With Cannon Car becomes ridiculous in this list if you have a sand tile out on board that is open, because you can run it into something, summon another flying minion, and you'll get another Cannon Car from the Dervish on the tile. And you can just keep on doing it.
If you're fast enough.
Yeah, that is another problem with the list. You need high mechanics. I have had games where I've run out of time.
So one of the things I noticed that isn't in the deck list is Dragonlark. So, this is the first bird deck list I've seen without it. What's the reasoning there?
Yeah, originally the deck did run 3 Dragonlarks because it helped you draw out. It was just basically for board impact. It was like play 6 minions in 1 turn, don't lose card advantage because you're drawing cards. But this deck is aiming for something completely different. We're not exactly going for dumping a load of minions onto the board. This is more designed for dealing face damage whilst dumping minions on the board. So it's not as weak to, say, playing all your flying minions and then just getting plasma stormed and they're all gone and you feel kind of bad about it. So that's the difference. That's why we don't run Dragonlark, because it's not so useful a draw for us. All we're trying to do is put as many Skywings into the deck as possible, and Dragonlark doesn't really help with that.
And it feels really bad to draw early on in my experience.
It feels really bad. Really bad, yeah.
All right,
it's a 2/1 flying. It's not great.
So these are the deck lists. I think we're ready to hop into some games now.
Yeah, do you want to start us off, Alpha?
All right, sure.